Hello, everybody again, and I apologize about the internet issues that I was having before. I still want to get this message to you guys, though, so I'm going to go ahead and record the video, not live, and then I'm going to post it in the team page, and I'll also have a YouTube link for it. So here we go. So if you guys don't know who I am, my name is Ashley. I have been a coach with Team Dynamo for almost 5 years now. In November, it'll be 5 years. And at the beginning of this year, I had it on my vision board to go see Tony Robbins live. And I did that back in, I want to say January, February. I went to the little 3-hour live seminar that he had, and I knew I needed more. So I committed to going to UPW, which is his 3.5-day, 4-day live seminar called Unleash the Power Within. And I learned so many great things from this seminar that I want to share with all of you guys. But I feel that this piece about why we do what we do and the 6 human needs, understanding them, is so important. It's an important piece to our business, not only to the standpoint of how to influence others, but how to influence ourselves as far as, doing things in our business and our lives in general. So I just want to share with you guys what I learned from there. A lot of this obviously is coming from that. And I'm going to do a screen share right now. 1 second. Okay. So why we do what we do and understanding the 6 human needs. First and foremost, one thing that was prominent in the whole weekend of this Tony Robbins seminar was that we must be able to influence ourselves before we're able to influence other people. And I know we hear this all the time, but when we sit back and think about it, influence is really power. And I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean that as influencers, we are doers, we are achievers. We are the people who take action, and we are the people who change the world. We are, the people that can help other people live a better life, get healthy and live longer and maybe have freedoms that normally they wouldn't have. So that's the type of influence that I'm talking about. So I don't want anybody to take that the wrong way or anything like that. But it all starts with you. You have to be able to influence yourself to do something before you can influence somebody else to do something. And since we're all here as coaches, we've done that. We have influenced ourselves to say yes to coaching. There are some outside influencers like our coaches that are influenced us to become a coach and to change our lives for the better. But at the same time, you had to make yourself say yes to this and better your life. So you have already influenced yourself in that. And throughout this training, I want you guys to at least have a pen and paper out, take some notes, and there's going to be an exercise at the end that I would love for all of you guys to share in the team page, either as a post or a video. A video would rock my world, especially since we weren't able to do this live. I really wanted to do that, but so whatever you guys want to do, but make sure that you have a pen and paper out and you're taking notes and you're answering the questions on that piece of paper that I'm going to ask you throughout this presentation. So think about this. What have you already influenced yourself to do? I talked about coaching, but clearly you probably have completed a Beachbody program. You have followed a nutrition plan. You have lost some weight. You have gotten stronger. You have changed your life for the better. What have you already influenced yourself to do? Just start thinking there. And one tip that I have for you guys that I heard while I was it was probably from Tony Robbins. All of my quotes are probably from him, FYI. But if you're judging somebody, you cannot influence them. So basically, if you are talking to somebody about joining your wellness group or talking to somebody about joining coaching, and you already are judging them, saying they're going to say no, or that they don't have enough money, or they're this type of person, or they're not going to do anything in the business, then you're completely right. You need to let go of all of the judgments when you are trying to help somebody. I think that word influence and help need to kind of be, in the same category. So when you're, no matter what, you just need to drop the judgment. And that's something that's really hard for a lot of us to do. I won't lie. Sometimes it's hard for me to do myself. Okay, so on to a little bit more about Oh, sorry, I have my notes over here too. And I think they were out of order from when we, when we got cut off. So I need to grab those. Sorry about that. Okay, so whatever people do, whatever we do as people, there's a reason for it. There's a reason for doing it. Even if you don't think there is. And people will give up on their goals and their dreams just to meet these needs. And like I said, there's 6 different human needs that need to be met. And whether it be good or bad, there's a reason why we do things. Whether it be, somebody going out and stealing something from a store, or shooting somebody, or somebody going out and giving all of their money to charity or something like that. There are different needs that are met while that person is doing what they're doing, whether it be good or bad. We all have the 6 same needs, but the difference is when somebody's doing something good and somebody's doing something bad, we are valuing different needs. I'm not going to get into too much about values, but I'm going to talk about the needs, and you can see why you make the decisions you do and how you can probably change what you're valuing now and what you need to start valuing in the future to create the life you want to live. So each need is going to have a positive and a negative action. Let's just call it an action or activity or, thought or something along those lines. And so I'm going to go over those needs with you, and I want you to be thinking about the actions that you take, whether they be positive or negative, for meeting this need. And just don't think about the future. Think about right now, and think about what you do at this moment, not what you need to do. So what you do at this moment, and then we'll move on from there. Okay, so the first primal need is certainty. And everybody wants stability, right? Everybody wants, especially about their basic necessities, whether that be food, shelter, or other material resources. We want to make sure that we are going to, have the right amount of money to pay our bills. We want to be sure that we have the right, that we're able to feed our children, and we want to be able to be certain that things are going to happen. But again, like I talked about, there are positive and negative actions that come with wanting certainty and valuing certainty. And also I want to add that when people cannot control their physical circumstances, they often turn to, their minds, seeking certainty through their mindset. So whether that be worrying, stress, or looking towards faith or religion, or just turning to a positive mindset. So those were kind of a couple positive, negative things that I mentioned in there, but we're going to go ahead and look at some positive and negative actions. And some of these might be mine. Some of these I got for myself, and some of these obviously are not mine, but these are just things I want you guys to think about. So for people that are wanting certainty, a positive action would be working out, because they know that if they work out, they're going to feel good. They know that if they do their personal development, they're going to be able to work through their issues or grow as a person and be a better person. Eating healthy, because they're fueling their body, they're going to feel good. Doing your power hour. In our business, we know that if we do our power hour, that we are going to succeed in this business. So that is something of certainty. Some negative things that come of certainty are, maybe doing drugs. What's going to happen if you do drugs. I mean, I'm not saying I do drugs, but I'm saying this is just an example, that you're going to, that person that's going to do drugs, they're going to get that high that they want. So that's a certainty. That's probably why they do it. Spending money or shopping. I can attest to that one, that I love to spend money and I love to do online shopping. And that is one of my negative things that I do to bring certainty into my life. Scrolling on social media, we're going to get that feeling that we want to feel of, just kind of, we know that we're going to get that. It's kind of that kind of rush, or, we have certainty that we're going to find some, it's kind of like watching TV, some entertainment you're going to get. But I'm sure we all can relate to scrolling on social media, or drinking wine or alcohol. You're going to have a certainty that you're going to feel a certain way. So those are just some positive and negatives that you get from from the feeling or the need of certainty. And I want you guys to take a minute. If you have to pause this video, since we didn't get to do this live, this is, you know, the best. This is a good thing. So pause the video for a minute or two, and I want you to write down all of the things that you do right now that you, for the need of certainty, in a positive way and a negative way. And then once you do that, we'll come back and we will join in on the next need. Okay, so I hope you guys took a second or two or a minute or whatever you needed to write down what you guys do to meet the need of certainty. The next need is completely opposite. Primal need number 2 is the need for uncertainty. And I might have to move because the sun is going to be right in me. But people seek variety in a number of different means, like stimuli, change of scene, physical activity, mood swings, entertainment, food, so many more things. And the thing about uncertainty, a lot of us don't like it, especially when we first start coaching. You know, we don't like that feeling of uncertainty and what's going to happen next, and how are we going to get to this point. But really, these 2 things that were said to me at UPW stuck out so much that I'm probably going to post them or hang them in my wall and by where my office is the quality of your life is in direct proportion to the amount of uncertainty you can comfortably live with. Think about that again. The quality of your life is in direct proportion to the amount of uncertainty you can comfortably live with. So let that sink in for a second. The other quote was, all passion is found in the realm of uncertainty. So for me, I am completely passionate about this business. I am completely passionate about helping other people change their lives, whether it be on the health side or the business side or both. So you need to, you know, embrace this primal need for sure. But for right now, let's think about what we do right now, not in the future, what we need to do, just what we do right now to meet our uncertainty needs. So some of the positive things that people do to reach their uncertainty needs are travel or adventure. Let's say if you like to be adventurous and go out on different adventures, that would be one. Learning. These really line up with me, to be honest with you, but trying new workouts or something different that you haven't done in ever before. Like a couple years ago for me, that was yoga. There are some new workouts and things that I would love to try that I haven't before. So those are positive things that people do to reach that uncertainty, to meet that uncertainty need. Some negative things, which is kind of funny because if you noticed, some of the same things are on here that were on the certainty, meeting that need too. So like drugs, if you do a drug, you are uncertain of what's going to happen to you as much as you are certain of the high that you want to achieve. Maybe picking a fight with somebody. You don't know what's going to happen if you pick a fight with somebody. Gambling, that's definitely meeting an uncertainty need. Drinking wine or alcohol, that could be a certain, that could meet your need for certainty, and it can meet your need for uncertainty because you never know what's going to happen. So again, I want you guys to take a second, pause the video for as long as you need, and I want you to write down all of the things that you do to reach your positive uncertainty needs, and all of the things that you do to reach that are negative to reach that uncertainty need. Okay, so I hope you guys really, oh, my notes are all messed up, but I hope you guys really took the time to do that. And if you didn't, pause me again as I'm shuffling, or keep writing as I'm shuffling through these notes. There it is. Oh, wait. Oh, there it is. Okay. So the number 3 primal need that there is for humans is the need for significance. And I think that a lot of us can really relate to this need. I know that I did myself, I did a lot when I was at the UPW event. So The need to feel important. People will seek significance through obtaining recognition from others or themselves. When people feel insignificant, they make themselves feel significant by getting angry. They may also meet their needs by having others recognize the significance of their insignificance, or the size or complexity of their problems. People love to be addicted to their problems, and this is something that we need to recognize as coaches, and recognize that not just for other people, but for ourselves. Like, are we just focusing on our problems to have significance? You know, you need to throw that up and down for you. But again, come back to now. I'll come back to that. I'm getting off on a tangent. But it's important to remember for so many people that helplessness equals power. Let that one sink in too. So let's start talking. I need to take a little sip of water. Let's start talking about the positive and negative actions with significance. And these are just some examples that I came up with that I have for myself. But some positive examples would be helping others, sharing your knowledge with the world, being a leader, accomplishing your goals. And some negative actions would be comparing yourself to others, getting angry, just like the one above of uncertainty. There's a fly in my face. Gossiping or tearing people down because it's going to make you feel better. And violence. You know, people wonder why there's violence in the world, and this is part of it because it meets somebody's needs. So take some time, write it down. How do you feel the need of significance? What are your positive and negative things that you do to fill the need of significance? Okay, so we will move on to primal need number 4, and this is love and connection. The reason there is love and connection is some people look at the word love a little too deeply and they can't quite get there. So, you know, connection can be the same piece to this puzzle. Human need to feel connected with someone. Oh, my lovely typos. With someone or something, a person, ideal, a value, a habit, or a sense of identity. I think that we all have this need. Well, obviously, everybody has this need, but especially if you're a coach, because you wanted to feel connected to people that are the same as you. You wanted to be in a group of, of people that understood you, that want to do better. So you wanted that connection. Let's see. Connection may take the form of love or merely of intense engagement. For instance, one can feel connected by means of an aggressive interaction. There are both ways to look at the primal need of love and connection. So let's look at these. Some of the positive ways to fill this need would be to attend church, to start coaching, like I talked about before, to being supportive to other people, to giving attention to others. Some negative ways would be if you were to cheat on your husband or wife, to join a gang. And I know these are just really random and out there, but I mean, they're not really random and out there, that's what I said, but they're like probably way far from what we would think as coaches. But I just want you guys to get thinking about some of the negative ways that we do. Maybe enabling others. This one really gets home to me. And then playing the victim, just like I talked about before. If we can be so obsessed with our problems, and that can be a way of trying to gain significance. So again, let's take some time, press pause, do what you need to, write down your how you feel this need in a positive way and how you feel this need in a negative way. Okay, now we are going to move on to our spiritual needs. It is only by meeting there's two spiritual needs. So it's only by meeting the spiritual needs that you will experience sustainable joy versus momentum pleasure. A lot of what we choose to do to meet our needs is like right now. Like we want it right now. We don't want it to last. And that's why we choose what we do. And I'm going to go into more of that in a second. But I'm just going to go over briefly what the two spiritual needs are, and then we will move on to the exercise. So spiritual need number 1 is growth. You are either growing or you're dying. There's no alternative. People are not spiritually satisfied unless their capacities are expanding. So this is exactly why you became a coach, because you wanted to grow as a person. You wanted to grow in your life. You wanted to better your life. And it is essential to have, basically, I read the wrong notes, sorry. But progress equals happiness. Personal development is so, so important, because if you're not progressing as a person every day, you're not going to be able to have that happiness. And I know for myself, and I can probably speak for a lot of the leaders and other coaches on this team, if you are not growing as a person, your business isn't going to grow and you aren't going to find happiness in your life. So continue to do that personal development. The next spiritual need is contribution. Just as people cannot survive without others contributing in some way to their welfare, for instance, no baby grew up on its own, they cannot be spiritually fulfilled unless they are contributing to others as well. So it's important to have people, contribute to us, and also for us to contribute to others. This is exactly why, as leaders, we step up and we share what we do. This is why I love this company, is because even in the top 10, they are sharing exactly what they do because they're feeling that need for contribution. Contribution is essential to have a sense of fulfillment and happiness in life. So this is something that you need to do. If you have something that you need to share with somebody, if you're following me, which I don't expect everybody to do, but if you are and you're seeing what I'm talking about the past month about my new diagnosis and stuff, I'm sharing this not because I'm looking for significance. It's because I want to help other people that are going through the same thing. So you need to look at, why you're doing things, because there can be a negative and a positive in that realm also. I'm not going to list out the both for these spiritual needs because that doesn't go into exactly the exercise that I'm going to go into exactly. But you need to be thinking about those things. Like, what do you do for contribution? What do you do for growth? Are you doing that on a daily basis? Because those two things are very essential to our businesses. Very, very essential. Okay. So to wrap things up, and I might hide myself so I can read this exactly, but people find ways to meet these needs in a positive, negative, or neutral ways, but every person finds a way to meet them in some way. Most people meet their needs for the right now instead of the long term, which I talked about before. But that is not sustainable. You want to be able to meet your needs, not always for the right now. You want to meet them so that you can sustain them. So any activity, action, or emotion that fulfills at least 3 needs at a high level becomes, in effect, an addiction. This can be a positive, negative, or neutral addiction. It doesn't have to, addiction tends to have a bad vibe to it, but it doesn't have to be that. This means that, you're feeling this need in some way. And when you really sit down and look at your actions that you take, most of the time you're feeling 3 needs out of those lists of at least those 4 needs, the 4 primal needs. And for some reason, the reason why you do something is because you're feeling 4 of those needs, whether it be pressing the alarm clock in the morning, or doing your workout, or skipping over your power hour and watching TV. You sit down and really look at it, you really are going to get 3 needs out of that. So start thinking about that in the things that you're doing, especially the things that you want to change that you're doing. and I'm reading my notes here again. Sorry about that. There is always a way to fulfill a need. The skill lies in finding a sustainable way to fill it in a way that gives you more pleasure than pain. So that ties back to, not doing it for the right now and doing it for a sustainable time. Okay. So here we are to our assignment that I would love, love, love for you guys to post in the team page as either a post or a video. Again, would freaking rock my world, and I would love to hear you guys' voices. So, and I'm going to share with you mine. So if I'm going to share with you mine, you should be able to share with you or with me yours. So the first number one question is which of the two human needs have you been valuing the most? So what does your action say? What are you valuing most? So I'm going to give you guys my answers right now. And this was before this was while I took these notes from my notes from when I was sitting with Tony Robbins and doing this exact assignment with him. So for me, I was valuing certainty and I was valuing significance. So what are they for you? Write it down and then share it with me later. So number 2, what are the consequences of valuing those needs? And I'm going to read you exactly what I wrote down on that day. Okay, so my consequences for valuing certainty and significance: ignoring people, relationships, myself, taking care of ignoring taking care of everyday things that I should normally be taking care of. These values hold me back from reaching my goals because of my need to be in control. They also don't allow me to be present in my everyday life. I'm missing memories and time with my family and watching my kids grow. So what are the consequences of you valuing the needs that you're valuing right now? And I don't mean to break you guys down in any way, but this is part of the process. And I really want you to think about what your consequences are for valuing those needs. So if you need to press pause, do that. And I am outside and it's 105. But anyways, so number 3, if I'm sweating, that's why. It's sparkle, not sweat, right? So what do your top 2 needs need to be from now on in order for your life to transform into the life that you want to live on an everyday basis? So go back to your notes, go back to the slideshow, rewind if you have to, look at all of the needs from the primal needs to the spiritual needs. What do you need to change in order for you to live the life that you want to live? For myself, like I said, I'll be honest with you guys and I'll give you guys my answers. It's love and growth. I need to switch from being, I can't remember because I crushed those when I was there, but from having certainty to significance to needing love and growth in my life. And to be honest with you, about, I would say 90% of the room, before we went through this process, at first they valued certainty and significance. And in the end, what they wanted to change to was love and growth. And this isn't just something that I picked because 90% of the room picked. We all did this before we talked about it. So the last question of this assignment, and again, I would love, 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 love if you guys share this assignment with me or in the team page, is if you made that change, what would transform your life? So if you made the change from focusing and valuing the needs that you are right now to the needs that you know you need to value in order to create the life that you want to live, how would your life change? I'll give you my answer. This is what I wrote down. I didn't even change it from my notes. I'm just sharing with you guys exactly from my notebook what I had written down at UPW. I said, I will be able to achieve success by living in the present. I will be able to have a peaceful, abundant, confident life. And that is what, the words that I have been focusing on since leaving UPW and changing from there. But it's really important to understand, how would your life change if you started focusing on other things and really digging deep into what you're doing? So from there, I'm going to stop my screen share. But from there, just looking at the way you do things and the reasons why you do things, it's going to be able to help you with your clients. It's going to be able to help you with, your coaches and your prospect that you want to become a coach, because you're going to be able to fulfill their needs once you start seeing and learning why they do what they do. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this presentation. I'm so sorry that I couldn't do this live. I can't wait to hear all of your guys' videos, because I know you want to rock my world and make me feel significant in the team page. And I love you all so much. I can't wait to see everyone that's going to be at Summit. And I hope you guys enjoyed this. I will talk to you soon. Bye.